Welcome to Level 1 Reddit, where we give you your daily Reddit fix. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss what's trending in Reddit. We're going to start with today's show with a simple joke that is trending on Reddit. It's about an Englishman and an Irishman, and it goes something like this. The Englishman steals 3 buns, puts them into his pockets, and leaves. He says to the Irishman, "That took great skill and guile to steal those buns. The owner didn't even see me." The Irishman replied, "That's just simple thievery. I'll show you how to do it the honest way and get the same results." The Irishman then proceeded to call out the owner of the bakery and says, "Sir, I want to show you a magic trick." The owner was intrigued, so he came over to see the magic trick. The Irishman asked him for a bun, and he proceeded to eat it. He then asked 2 more times, and after eating them again, the owner says, "Okay, my friend, where's the magic trick?" The Irishman then said, "Look in the Englishman's pockets." Oh my god. Maybe it's the long weekend, but I found that really funny. A couple of the comments, top comments that I found, it's more Irish jokes. What do you call an Irish baker? The answer: a gingerbread man. And the second comment: what do you call Irish people having a breakdown? The answer: ginger snaps. I've never heard any of those jokes before, and I was having a blast reading them on Reddit, so I figured I'd share that with you guys. All right. Second topic for today. This one is really cool. I've never heard of this guy. So today I learned that an ethical hacker called Jim Browning, that's his alias, routinely tracks down internet scammers who exploit old and vulnerable people online. He managed to shut down a company that scammed people with the help of BBC recently. I don't know how BBC got involved. I didn't see it, guys. The story continues. Browning lets them into his computer, but they don't realize that he's about to turn the tables by accessing their computer and spying on their operations. Once in, he watches them and worms his way into their systems. Browning says, "Some victims have lost hundreds of thousands of money, and there's very little gets done about it. I don't like people scamming others and thinking that they are completely immune. I went to the internet service providers and asked them to take action against people whom I'd identified as using their service to scam people. But nothing ever happened. Nothing was done." He says the fraud gangs tend to target older people, and they're not opposed to exploiting dementia sufferers. He says, "Some of the stories that I hear from victims are very sad. I receive regular messages from grandchildren telling me how their grandparents have been left unable to keep their own homes because they've been conned. Some victims have taken their own lives after realizing that they have been scammed." Browning acknowledges that breaking into scammers' computers is probably illegal, but he doesn't think they're going to want to go to the authorities to complain. Isn't that insane? I mean, that is some Mr. Robot shit right there, guys. So I never heard of Jim Browning before, so I searched him on YouTube, and the guy apparently has 1.51 million subscribers compared to my 3 subscribers. And he's been around for 6 years now, since 2014, and his description is very short. He just says, "Tracking and identifying scammers who knock on my front door, call me, or shove pop-ups into my computer screen." So this guy's like the legit, real life Mr. Robot. And I think that's really cool. I mean, I think if you have that power to dismantle scammers and fraud artists, man, I wish I have that power. Some of the popular comments: does he take requests? My grandparents got scammed of their life savings of $20,000 after speaking on the phone with one of these scammers. How heartless do you have to be to take from pensioners who count out every dollar so they have something to pass on or pay for the funerals, as they mentioned in this case? It's an international scam, of course, and little can be done. Although you would hope banks would have some sort of system to catch dodgy transactions like this. And of course they don't. Second comment. His videos are great and worth a watch, especially this miniseries, alongside watching Pleasant Green and Kit Boga. I feel like I've learned a lot about these things. So I'm gonna actually subscribe to Jim Browning, watch some of his videos, support him, because I think what he's doing is great. I think you guys should check out his videos too. Yeah, anytime the bad guys loses and the good guys win, it's a win for everybody. So on to the last story that we have. This one is pretty interesting. For her contribution to the Wizard of Oz, Terry the dog, whose name was Toto in the movie, earned $125 per week, while the actors playing the Munchkins were given just $50 a week. So basically the dog got paid more than the actors did while filming Wizard of Oz in 1939. Now, you might think that's kind of BS, but some of the comments here, I'm going to go out on a limb and guess it was the dog's owner who got paid, not the dog himself. Training animals is a specialized skill, and the dog is in the whole movie, so you'd expect the trainer to be paid more than the actors with a couple of lines in one scene. That's true, never thought about it that way. Second comment, absolutely, and adding to that, back in the era, it was a very niche job to be able to train animals for a film. That's kind of how the industry works. If you're one of the few people who can do something specific, you can negotiate higher prices. Totally agree with that one. Third comment, just asking, but how much would the equivalent would that be equivalent today? $50 back then would be $922, so $125 would be the equivalent of $2,305. That's a lot of money for 1 week for a dog. And the last comment, weren't the Munchkins having a whale of time getting drunk, fucking, and fighting every day? I read something like that a while ago, and Time Magazine, I Google searched it before starting this recording, and Time Magazine actually has an article here about the truth and the false. Like, for example, it's true that someone did step on Toto, the dog, and I think this is one that the last comment was talking about. It didn't say true, it didn't say false either. It says probably false, which is Judy Garland was molested by actors playing the Munchkins. So on the Time Magazine website, it says, in a memoir by Judy Garland's third husband, Sid Luft, published posthumously in 2017, he writes that after bar hopping in Culver City, the actors who played the Munchkins would, quote, would make Judy's life miserable by putting their hands under her dress. Harmitz says it's true that the actors would go drinking near the Culver City Hotel where they stayed, but she says their interactions with Garland did not rise to the level of what the third husband said. Nobody on the movie ever saw her or heard of a Munchkin assaulting her, says Harmitz. Garland did say, quote, the drinking was annoying in an interview with a talk show host, Jack Parr, but experts in Garland's life say that her rant about being scarred by the rowdy behavior on set may have been a deflection from the real damage she suffered during that time at the hands of the studio. Garland was only 16 when she made Wizard of Oz, and her struggles with depression and disorder eating started at an early age and continued for the rest of her life. She claimed that the studio executives gave her uppers and sleeping pills so she could keep up with the demanding pace of the show business. She struggled with a drug addiction and attempted suicide several times before she died of an accidental overdose on June 22, 1969. Judy Garland was just 47 years old. So there you have it, guys. I guess the Munchkins there were a lot of drinking, and possibly, it says right here, probably false, but possibly trying to get some of Judy Garland by putting their hands under her dress. So I don't feel bad now that they were only getting paid $50 a week for doing all that stuff. I mean, you gotta stay professional, right? But still, that's insane that the dog got paid more than the human. So, guys, that's all the show for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching Level 1 Reddit. Please subscribe if you like this content. New videos are out Monday through Friday, starting at 5 a.m. So, until I come up with a better slogan, I'm going to stick with "You are beautiful." I'll see you guys back here tomorrow. Bye-bye.